Lesson 2.2, Solving Quadratic Equations by Factoring. Letter B, Solving Quadratic Equations by Factoring Trinomials. So we have here two cases. So perfect square trinomials and trinomials that are not perfect square. So for the steps in solving quadratic equations by factoring, first, we have to set the quadratic equation in the form of the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So, from our example 1, so we have ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So, we are now in standard form, and ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is our first step. Second, we are going to factor the quadratic equation. So we have here two examples. So one is for perfect square trinomial, second is for the regular trinomial. So not perfect square. So unahin natin yung perfect square trinomial. So sa perfect square trinomial, we have to inspect the first term, our quadratic term, and the last term, our constant. Now, if we are going to get the square root, so as you can see, these two numbers are perfect square number. So for x squared, we have x times x. And for our square root of 9, we have 3 times 3. So these are the factors of our first term and our constant term. Now, for you to know whether the given trinomial is a perfect square trinomial, we have to do something to get the middle term. So first, we are going to add the factors. So what are the factors? 3 times 3 or 3 plus 3, that is 6. Then, our variable x. So meaning, the given trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. Now, how to get the factor? So how to get the factor? How many x's do we have here? So we have 2 x's. So we have x here, x. Okay? Then we have 2 3's. So positive, so we have x plus 3 and x plus 3. Then equate this to 0. Then, applying zero product property, so we will have x plus 3 equals 0 and x plus 3 equals 0. So this is zero product property. Then applying the additive inverse, so we have positive 3, so additive inverse is negative. So x plus 3 minus 3 equals 0 minus 3. So we have 3 minus 3 is 0, so x equals negative 3 for our x sub 1. Then for our x sub 2, so we have x plus 3, additive inverse, negative 3 equals 0 minus 3. So 3 minus 3 is 0, so x equals 0 minus 3 is negative 3. So this is our x sub 2. So what did you notice in our solution? If it is perfect square trinomial, our solution is only 1. So since this is x sub 1 is negative 3 and x sub 2 is negative 3, so therefore, our solution is negative 3. So there is only one solution, which is negative 3. What if our trinomial is not perfect square trinomial or just a regular trinomial? So here, again, we are going to set it to standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Then, we're going to look now at our constant, which is positive 6. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to list all the factors of positive 6. So, positive 6 equals, so factors 1 times 6 2 times 3. So what else? So we have negative 1, negative 6, then negative 2, negative 3. Then we are going to add the factors. So we have to add positive, 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 positive. And we are going to look for 5. For the coefficient 5 of the middle term. So we have here, let's add 1 plus 6, this is 7, 2 plus 3, 5, negative 1 plus negative 6, negative 7, then negative 2 plus negative 3, negative 5. So which factor results to positive 5? So that is 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 are the factors. So how are we going to write this using the factor form? Okay, so we will have x so since we have x squared, okay, so factors x plus 2, x plus 3 equals 0. Then applying zero product property, so we have x plus 2 equals 0, x plus 3 equals 0. Then additive inverse, so we have x plus 2 minus 2 equals 0 minus 2. So that is positive, so additive inverse is negative. Then x plus 3, additive inverse, negative 3 equals 0 minus 3. Then 2 minus 2, 0. So the remaining is x equals 0 minus 2, that is negative 2. So our x sub 1 is negative 2. Then for our x sub 2, we have x 3 minus 3, that is 0. So we have x equals negative 3 for our x sub 2. Checking for number 1, x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 0. If x equals negative 3, so again, using our given equation, x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 0. So if x is equal to 3, we're going to substitute x by negative 3. Negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3, look at our pattern, plus 9 is equal to 0. The negative 3 times negative 3, that is positive 9. So positive times negative is negative. 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 9 is equal to 0. 9 minus 18 is negative 9. Plus 9 equals 0. Negative 9 plus 9 is 0 equals 0. So therefore, our solution is correct. So x is equal to negative 3. Checking for number 2. X squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. So a while ago, we get the solution. We got the solution x equals negative 2 and x equals negative 3. So let us first check if x is equal to negative 2. So again, given the general equation or the given equation, so we have negative 2 squared plus 5 times negative 2 plus 6 equals 0. Negative 2 times negative 2. So negative times negative is positive. 2 times 2 is 4. Then positive times negative, that is negative. 5 times 2. So we have 10. Then plus 6 equals 0. 4 minus 10, that is negative 6. Plus 6 equals 0. So negative 6 plus 6, that is 0 equals 0. So if x equals 2, so our solution is correct. Then if x equals negative 3, so we have negative 3 squared plus 5 times negative 3 plus 6 equals 0. So, negative 3 times negative 3, that is positive 9. So, positive 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Then, plus 6 equals 0. 9 minus 15, that is negative 6. Plus 6 equals 0. So, negative 6 plus 6, that is 0, equals 0. So, therefore, for number 2, our solution is negative 2. So, the solution is negative 2, negative 3. Another example for perfect square trinomials. So, we have number 2. X squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 0. So, for our quadratic term, so we have x squared. For our constant is positive 25. So, again, we're going to get the factors of the quadratic term and the first term. So, we have x times x. How about for 25? So, for 25, we can have 5 times 5. And we also have negative 5 times negative 5. Now, which of these factors will be the correct one? So, take a look at our linear term. So, our coefficient is negative 10x or negative 10 is the numerical coefficient. So, alin dito sa dalawang factors ang kukuhanin natin? So, we have, let's add the factors. So, what is 5 plus 5? So, that is 10. Negative 5 plus negative 5, that is negative 10. So, alin ang ating kukuhanin? So, itong ating negative 5. Negative 5 and negative 5. So, if we're going to write the factors, so we have x, the negative 5 equals 0. So, applying zero product property, so we have x minus 5 equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0. Zero product property. Then, negative 5, what is our additive inverse? So, that is positive 5. So, x minus 5 plus 5 equals 0 plus 5. And we have x minus 5 plus 5 equals 0 plus 5. So, negative 5 plus 5, that is cancel. So, x sub 1 equals 0 plus 5, 5. Then, negative 5 plus 5, cancel. 0 plus 5 is 5. So, we have x sub 2 equals 5. So, therefore, our solution is 5. So, let's have our checking. So, we have the original equation, x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 0 if x equals 5. So, we have 5 squared minus 10 times 5 plus 25 equals 0. 5 times 5, 25. Positive times negative times positive, that is negative. 10 times 5, 50. Plus 25 equals 0. 25 minus 50, that is negative. 25 plus 25 equals 0. So, negative 25 plus 25, 0 equals 0. So, therefore, the solution is 5. Example number 2 for trinomial. So, we have x squared minus x minus 20 equals 0. So, this is our quadratic term, our constant. Now, our quadratic term has a factor of x times x. Okay. Then, our constant is negative 20. So we are trying to look for the factors of negative 20. So we have 1 times 20, negative 1. So we also have negative 2 times 10. We also have negative 4 times 5. Meron pa? Meron pa. So we have 1 times negative 20. We have 2 times negative 10. And we have 4 times negative 5. So again, our linear term has a coefficient of negative 1. So we are going to look for the coefficient of negative 1. So let's add the factors. Okay, so this is negative 1 plus 20, that is 19. Negative 2 plus 10, that is positive 8. Negative 4 plus 5, that is 1. 1 plus negative 20, that is negative 19. 2 plus negative 10, that is negative 8. 4 plus negative 5, that is negative 1. So, aling factors ang ating gagamitin? We're going to use 4 and negative 5. So, if we are going to rewrite the factor form, so we have x positive 4 times x minus 5 equals 0. Then applying zero product property, so we have x plus 4 equals 0. Then x minus 5 equals 0. Then additive inverse of positive 4, that is negative 4. X plus 4 minus 4 equals 0 minus 4. So 4 minus 4, that is 0. So we have x equals 0 minus 4, that is negative 4 for our x sub 1. Then for our x sub 2, so we have negative 5, additive inverse is positive 5. So we have x minus 5 plus 5 equals 0 plus 5. So negative 5 plus 5, that is 0. So x equals positive 5. So x sub 2 is positive 5. Okay, then our checking. If x equals negative 4, so we have negative 4 squared minus negative 4 minus 20 equals 0. So negative 4 times negative 4, that is 16. Negative times positive, that is positive. Negative times negative, that is positive 4. Minus 20 equals 0. 16 plus 4, that is 20. Minus 20 equals 0. 0 equals 0. Okay, then for if x equals 5, so original formula again, so we have 5 squared minus 5 minus 20 equals 0. So we have 25 minus 5 minus 20 equals 0. 25 minus 5, that is 20, minus 20 equals 0, 0 equals 0. Therefore, the solution is negative 4, positive 5.